Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Rabbit Hole with yours truly, Blaze Man, Mr. D, and Mr. Donnie. It is a beautiful Thursday night here in the New England area, and we're looking at about 78 degrees. And we're supposed to get some late thunderstorms tonight for those of you that are watching the show locally. And of course, I'd like to say hey to my boys tonight, Mr. D, Mr. Donnie. Um, how is days been going before show? We got quite a few things to talk about tonight, and I kind of have myself some like breaking news in a sense, you know what I mean? But we'll get to all of that down the line, and also, for those of you that are watching the rabbit hole right now, you see www.childhelp.org. Go ahead and check that link out, ladies and gentlemen. You can use that code up the top, and just see what you can do. $5, $10, whatever. It's an excellent organization designed to help kids and as far as meals and other such things to that effect. So do yourself some justice and go to www.childhelp.org, and that's the deal with that. So welcome, brothers. Welcome
Okay.
tonight. What's happening?
Go ahead, Demon.
Oh man, all right. No, I'm good. Thanks for having me on the show again, Blaze. Donnie, I'm looking to go to battle with you today, brother. I will definitely be listening to you, sir, and dissecting every motion where you want to go with Joe Biden, the economy, and Blaze. When Donnie talks, man, I um I listen, brother. He's got a lot of words. I mean, a lot of wisdom,
Hey,
a lot of wisdom, a lot of wisdom. Um,
no, we don't.
and and I would like to say that Donnie's our finance guy because I definitely have a
No,
question. I don't know if
no.
it's going to be now or later, but I definitely want to know what constitutes a recession. I mean, some
Oh,
media news works are not saying it's a recession, and some others are saying, "Oh, we're in a hardcore recession, 2 quarters of GDP fall." And I just, I really want to tap you in there, finance guy. And
no, that's
I
exactly what it starts. What you just
is that
said. What you just
what's
said right there. Per you, every finance list of you know websites that define this stuff. Yeah, after two consecutive quarters of loss on the GDP, that's when a recession officially begins per se. Um, so as long as GDP is positive, I guess we could all be starving and homeless,
yes?
and we won't be in a recession. That just okay. That sounds good to me. I mean, I don't know.
But what kills me, Donnie, is how the media is plugged in with this as well too, man. And it goes with your left and right. The Fox News and all the other ones are gonna slam. We're in a recession. Stop waiting for lines and all this other shit. And CNN saying, we're just having a soft landing. We should be bouncing back what the Fed Reserve does with interest rates.
Right, right. Yeah, that's why I say it's different websites and government agencies that the you go to the oh shoot finance institute for us. I can't remember the name off the top of my head right now. But you go to their website and they'll give you the same stuff. When it comes to the finance, there's no way to tell exactly, hey, this you can't define it by exact terms because finance changes so much that the interactions, it changes as it evolves, as time evolves. So you can't really exactly say, hey, it's this and that, but you can give a general idea, and that's what everybody says. Two quarters of negative GDP. That's a recession start.
So
Some of them, that's all opinion, just like we have our opinion here about some finance stuff. Some people, they think they've read more than other people. And some people, they just learned a different way of finance than somebody else. That's why you have the different predictions.
yes, sir. So us be officially being a recession. What are the worst?
Oh, we're
Um,
not we're not in a recession.
yes, we are.
Not if you listen to Biden. He says that the job numbers are there. People are spending money, all of that fun shit like that, bro. That's not what the Biden administration is saying at all. At all.
Oh, yes, and I'm glad you brought that up because I was waiting for somebody from our uh, audience to claim Joe Biden thinks everything's good and as good as gold, And recently they just got the Senator Manchin to go on the Build Back Better shit, whatever that was. So I'm thinking Trump pumped $1 trillion into the economy. That was okay, but it was bad. My wife, we got a big electric bill, and my wife would like to keep the lights on and use the natural light blaze.
Oh, okay. I thought that was part of what you was talking about.
I'm joking, brother.
Go
No,
ahead, man. Go
I'm
ahead,
I'm
bro.
not joking.
Go
No,
ahead.
we're no, but Walmart
Um,
even came up short on their earnings. Walmart basically said people are more inclined to buy what they actually need, not what they want. That
yes.
necessity. And all these other key indicators in the markets are showing we're struggling, but this White House administration is saying the only thing that's high is gas because that's Putin's fault.
Yeah, that's a bunch of crap. So let's just all acknowledge that's a bunch of bullshit.
Okay.
It's not Putin's fault. It's our own damn fault. Push for the sanctions because we don't look at history and we don't learn anything from our past mistakes. Because if anything, he could have done what we did on the show 2 weeks ago, last week a little bit was look at what Jimmy Carter went through when he was president and had the same situation. Well, he did what he do. He put the daggum sanctions and restrictions out on Iran, right? Look what
Right.
happened. Everybody was waiting at the gas pump, was having a hard time getting gas. Economy went down a little bit. What does Biden do? Shit, let me truck on right on down the road. He already gave me the pass. He doesn't
Hey,
even
hey,
look up to see that he went down the wrong one, man.
Donnie. So that was in the mid '70s. The
Right.
bicentennial. Do you remember that? Because you were a little house.
Yeah, I know, man. I don't remember. I don't remember that. Hey, man, I
I
ate, did my thing. But I'm just now that I look back more, and what I was going to get into later, we can get into a little bit right now is how if you look at history, look at our history, go back to the 19th century, World War I. When we're actively engaged in a war, economy's pretty good. We do all right,
Yes, sir.
and
Yes,
usually it's a
sir.
Republican in charge. You go back, you look at when we're out playing moral police and world police for the rest of everybody else. We usually got a Democrat in charge, and our economy slumps, and we have recessions. I don't know, just a pattern, but
That's
going
true,
back to Joe
Donnie.
Biden and this administration, it's just the same old. Where can I point the finger? How about you man up and say, "Hey, this is what happened. This is what we're doing." Be honest, because to me, you just lie to me when you step up on that podium every time. I don't trust a word you say.
Well, yeah, yes, yes, man, yes. But my big concern, if it's what what else can we foresee as the consumer here with food prices, gas prices, and a big one that's dear to my heart is the housing market. Is that going to drop? What does your finance future see?
Oh, what I understand is we'll do like you said, the soft landing for the housing market, but that's going to vary by location, like anything else. Most of the places around here, Texas and whatnot, the bigger cities, they say it's going to drop maybe 25%, and that's about where it'll bottom out. And there's just so many jobs coming this way because of no state taxes and stuff. So it's not going to hit here as hard. Other places they hit harder because people are leaving those places because there's no jobs. So the housing, but unless you see housing drop dramatically by 2008, I think I would tend to agree more with the people off landing, because I think at some point it's going to bottom out, and so high for so long when it used to be $3 and we were paying $5 now, back down to $4, we're going to feel like we're getting a bargain. But really we're not, because you want to get back down into $3.50 maybe. But the supplier and the business owner and everybody else is getting the cut of that. They're going to be happy as hell. So they're going to be like, hey, here we go. I just, that's
Yes.
what
Yeah, no.
I say this off landing.
What's off limits?
What are you talking about off limits?
What did you say? I'm sorry. You said something. Your final couple of words.
No, I'm just saying that's about where it's going to phase out, and then where are we going to be at then? What's the next excuse? What's
Yes.
next? Because
Well, it's hard. It's hard to focus being a president, and I'm not even going to drop his age, but knowing that there's going to be a big
All right,
big
wait a minute,
announcement
wait a
on
minute.
Hunter Biden.
You won't fucking say his name, his age. He's about 109.
No, man,
You know
because
what I mean?
No,
Or he
no,
fucking he acts that way. Come on.
No, but yeah,
I
but
mean,
you gotta
people-
be
people
you gotta be respectful, brother.
People,
It's called
people
the
are calling
ADA.
him. Bro, if it was a
Anyway.
woman president up there, I could see you saying something like that, but it's a guy, bro. Nobody
No.
cares that he's 95
Okay.
years old.
no, YouTube sexist comment people, just go do something else for a minute. What we're not scared of? That's my question is, why is it that the Republicans aren't going after Joe Biden for all the nepotism and stuff like they did Trump? What are they holding? What's so key that they don't want to let go of right now? And the other part, to me, it tells me the Democrats, they have just that little of faith in Kamala that she can't run this place with some good advisors. So they'd rather have rumbling, bumbling, stumbling Joe
Hey, Donnie,
right now than
what the
knowing Kamala. Oh, go, Demas. Sorry. Go.
No, man. What the problem with Kamala is that nobody wants to work for her as advisors. Everybody, Biden's advisors, they're all the old school from Barack Hussein Obama, president, number
Okay.
44.
Right.
And they stood with Joe, and a lot of people think this is Obama's third term. Because the people that was the movers in Obama's administration are still there. They're still there. The Susan Rice, the John Kerrys, all
Right.
them clowns.
There.
They're all there. And
Right.
Kamala, she don't understand. I had her at some respect when she was in the Senate. I found she, asked little tough questions and stuff. But good God, her as a vice president, all she's got to do is listen to somebody. She can't go out there and wing it.
Right. But once again, though, for the Democratic Party and a lot of people that are maybe on the fence, and I just don't understand. Well, how is it that you let Joe Biden pick her? Yeah, I mean, when he was picking his VPs, he got pretty, we discussed it on the show earlier. It was going to be a woman and a person of color. Those were his two requirements. If those aren't the sexist and racist, I don't know what are, but okay. That's how he
Yes.
chose his VP. So now you're upset. It was okay then, but now you're upset that it's not working out, so you're going to keep us in limbo. And come on, man. How stupid do you really think the American public is that we can't see that, or we can't even think that, and you expect our vote? Come on, you guys got to do better than that, bro.
Yeah, no, no, and I totally agree. And the Democratic Party, they are so fed up with what Biden and Kamala's doing, and Buttigieg, old Pete Buttigieg, Secretary of
Yeah,
Transportation, is polling better with Democrats than Biden or Kamala.
he is,
Wow, that's just crazy, man.
but I don't know much of the guy. Uh, you know, yeah, they made headlines because of his sexual preference and him getting that position. Yeah, he's the first one. That's great.
Yep,
He's
yep,
got to know what he's doing so much to get there. I'm not going to
yes,
question his intelligence because I don't know what it takes to get there, and I could care less about his sexual preference. But if that's who they have faith in to try to run up against a Republican or Joe Biden, and I'll take that dude over Joe Biden and Kamala then. I'd rather take somebody that's conscious, that's alert, that is
yeah,
engaged when he talks to people. I'll
yes.
take that dude right now. Because at least
Does
that dude's young
does
enough to know, or maybe admit that he's like, you know what? I might be in and over my head a little bit. I might want to listen. You know what I mean? Where
Hey,
he's got a little
Donnie.
bit of Sleepy Joe. He's been there for so damn long. He just thinks he knows it all.
Hey, Donnie. When you get moments like that, and you've had two fire moments, just say you're on fire, man. And I
I don't know
won't
what you're
cut
talking about.
in, man. You
I
had
don't know what
two
you're talking about.
fire moments, brother.
does
Two
anybody
fires.
wanna does anybody wanna answer
I don't know
that
what you're talking about.
text message?
Okay, the first text message we got on our board today is working people with good paying jobs can't even afford the rent increases. So sad. How can a landlord with a good conscience at this time, coming out of COVID-19, got so much assistance from the government, be so harsh with people, man?
Well, you know what? I don't think a majority of it is your basic landlord. Say if you and I owned the building,
Hmm.
I'd have a hard time doing that. I don't even think I would do it anyways. But there's corporations,
Yes,
that
yes,
buy 4 or 5, 6 properties. You know what I'm saying? And most of the
and
time, you can really tell which properties those are because they're the shittiest looking ones because they don't take care of them. You know, and
borderline
to
slumlords.
answer right to answer the viewer's question, that's pretty much what it is right now. Nobody cares, and anybody who's greedy is going to sit there and take advantage of the fact no matter what. Thanks for your question. Moving
Totally
on.
agree.
Tamanya,
I mean,
tamanya.
oh yeah, Biden, he doesn't know what's going on. We've talked that over and over again. Uh,
It's
so
it's kind of sad, man.
what do you mean? What is
It,
sad?
no, just seeing him up there struggling and actually thinking in his psyche is that he's the best president.
I know. That's why I go down to the path of he's been there in that political realm of Washington D.C. so long. You can't tell him anything. There's some things he don't listen to. So I'd rather take the young dude that at
Yes.
least has ideas, and maybe he'll be like, hey, I mean, let me talk to some people first because I'm not the smartest guy or whatever. I'd rather take his new ideas than the old money and the old ideas of a bunch of people around Biden's age, and call it age discrimination, whatever. But half the people that he surrounds himself with are out of touch of how the reality of what the world we're living in at times. Even when he sends like his wife out to go speak to San Antonio, and she referenced everybody as a bunch of breakfast tacos.
On fire.
Yeah, that is the company you keep, and that's the same way you address people. And did you not talk to someone and have a clue? And now, granted, understand, the first lady of this United States teaches at a university within this United States. I'm not sure what she teaches, but you have to be at least a master's degree and some really good stuff to teach at a collegiate level. You know what I mean? It's not like what we bitch about during middle school. These people know what they're doing. They're educated. So for her to go down to a primarily Hispanic community and to address everybody as breakfast tacos, trying to make it funny like she's talking about diversity because there's so many different people in the crowd, I can't buy that. I can't buy that, you were trying to make a joke. No, that's the dumbass shit you say on a regular basis. Excuse my French on that one. Yeah, that's not a joke. That's the dumbass stuff she says. So that's what's around him every day.
Donnie, when she was on the plane flying to San Antonio, don't you think one of her advisors say, here, Dr. Jill, here's the speech, go over it, see what happens. And when breakfast tacos came up to her, it should have clicked in her educated head. Am I going to offend anybody with this statement?
Exactly.
But they don't.
No.
They don't rehearse nothing. Whatever comes up.
Right. And that's where I go with I know what I'm doing. Don't tell me you don't listen, because I'm pretty sure there's some people I would hope there's people on these advisory panels and that they travel with these, high Miss Pelosi and Joe Biden and the First Lady and Kamala Harris and the first VP husband, whatever his title is, that he's doing his political stuff. They're out there campaigning. Yeah. You would think that they would have somebody sensible, and I would hope that somebody sensible said something to them, but I think the arrogance just is like, no, we'll be all right. I can wing it. We're good.
You want to hear about the arrogance? So she did a little speech in Connecticut, and she wanted to go to this fancy ice cream. So the Secret Service stops everything. She gets out. It's on the internet. This gentleman, she starts waving. This gentleman screams, "Your husband's the worst president ever." And then she says, "Thank you for your support." And then he responds back, "He owes me gas money." But you see the arrogance in that? Thank you for your support.
That's just no.
I know you don't blame her. That's what a politician's trained to do.
No, I don't see it as arrogance. I see that as more being a smart ass. Yeah, thank you for your support. Have a nice day.
Yes.
And I'm not going to engage. Basically saying I'm not going to engage with you on this. No, we're not going to go down this road. So,
but a real first lady would have engaged.
No, I don't think so. I don't think you engage in that. No, I'm not engaging in that. First lady or not, I'm not going to engage.
You don't think Michelle Obama would have engaged in that?
I don't think so. I think she would have been like, same thing. Have a nice day. That's the same thing I would think to do. That's just childish, and to me, that's the arrogance of our society that thinks you can't have the courtesy and just the decency to say, hey, that's the VP. Let me have just a tad bit of respect, as a person, and she got up there. You know what I mean? No, we just think we can talk to anybody and disrespect anybody. You know what I mean?
But Donnie, I think the American public did at the beginning. I know I did. I'm like, okay, Trump lost. Let me see what these two are gonna do.
Right. Right.
And the respect was there, dude, for the vice president and the president. Now, Donnie, Democrats don't even respect them.
I understand
Democrats don't.
They don't respect them, and they don't respect their ability to lead this nation. I understand that. I don't either. But for you to tell me you don't have enough decency in you as a human being when the VP, whether it's male, female, whatever, is stopping at the ice cream truck, you want to get in an argument about some gas money, and then you want to say her husband, the president's doing a crap job when it ain't even true? That's just your ignorance as a person. That has nothing to do with Democrats. Come on, bro. We got to do better than that. If we're going to ask these people, our political leaders, to do better for us, we got to act better too. Come on now.
Why not though? we stop everything around this famous ice cream shop. I wish they made mention of the name. I was just floored on her fucking arrogance, man. Of the comment. Thank you for the support. I think the guy gets a gold star from me speaking out.
Oh,
I,
okay.
I
Maybe
really
maybe
do.
she didn't
And that's
understand
the
what you
problem.
said.
But wait a minute, we stopped the world for her so she can get a little Sunday or whatever she was gonna get. Why can't she stop her world to address something?
Because the dude's
No,
a smart
I
ass,
know, I
dude.
know. And then shit, it's fair game then. That
No,
gentleman should have
Demon,
kept on whacking away. He should have
go
kept
whack
whacking
away.
away.
But
What's
as
that?
a okay, you remember all this stuff? Let's go back to training, right? We
Mm.
shared training.
Hey, wait a
Let's
minute.
go.
I wait a minute. And I said Connecticut, and I wouldn't doubt it if that protester was a Democrat that made that statement. How does that sink in your head then?
I don't give a damn whether he's a Democrat or Republican. I could care less. I give a damn if
If it,
his ass is purple like Barney. I don't give a
no,
shit.
be-
To me,
no,
that
because
is
if
rude
it
and that is just flat disrespectful. And you're trying to engage in and get her into a pissing contest over something that she has nothing to do with when it comes to Joe Biden and or Hunter Biden or any of that other
no,
crap.
she's a stepmom
She's
for Hunter. She's a
that's
stepmom, but she's been around the majority of his life. But no, get
okay,
damn
but
Donnie.
what? But what? Demas, you're saying he gets a gold star, give him his gold star, but me, I'm saying hell no. You don't get a gold star for me. I say take your little
No, if
sorry ass
that
on and don't you're part of the problem.
if that guy was a Democrat, and I'll make this prediction here on FFN Radio Network, going down the rabbit hole. It will not be a red wave in November. It'll be a tsunami all the way from California, all the way up the East Coast to Maine.
You really think so? Okay.
Yes,
We'll see.
yes.
We'll see.
It,
You don't get California.
yeah,
Democrats
no,
are keeping
no.
California.
Wait a minute. No, no, no. Hear me out. There's some spots that are up for election. This is a midterm. This ain't the full boat. You know, you got some couple of houses there of representatives.
Okay. Well,
Wyoming, do you think Miss Cheney's going to get there? You think she's going to get it again? Now, Wyoming is in a unique,
no, I
it's
think
a peculiar state. You know that, right? They only have
I
one
know.
House of Representative. Okay.
Yeah, I know, but I don't think Cheney's going to get there. I think another Republican's going to go because the Republican Party, there's, just like the Democrat Party doesn't like their leadership. Well, there's some key leaders in the Republican Party that are about ready had enough of her mouth, and they're like, "No, we don't need you. You're no longer an asset. You are now a liability because you want to run your mouth all the time." So she's going to get fed to the wolves, bro.
Yes, sir. No, yes, yes. But no, and I understand the respect thing, and I know what you're saying. We should not disgrace the office of the presidency and the first lady. Hot damn, they did it to themselves, though, Donnie.
So the
They
ridicule. No, I'm going to agree with you on that. The ridicule that you're getting from your actions, you can't blame that on anybody. That's on you. But my thing is we just got to we got to show better respect to that office because no matter who's running it, you know what? That is our leadership and have some decency. But I won't agree. It all comes on them because of their actions, their choices, their words. So do like you trying to tell everybody else to do and take accountability for what the hell you done messed up.
And I would just like to add on this before Blaze, you have to go pay some bills or go to the next segment. Is that that Democrat that screamed that the first lady? I find that just not appalling, but you remember the protesters when the Roe versus Wade got released prematurely and they were protesting
Okay.
in front of the Supreme Court. You talk of respect for the office. That's where it's got to start, man.
Yeah.
It's got to start right there, man.
Well, no,
Three.
told,
Go ahead, brother.
no, I'd say I've never said anything about don't protest. No, go protest. Do it nice and peacefully. Just don't tear shit
But
up.
and near a Supreme Court justice to protest?
There's certain areas you're on the sidewalk, you're right there. I can get that. What, are you trying to go to their house and stuff? No, you need to get gone because they need their privacy. That's their house.
They're not in front of the Supreme Court, the actual building. They're residential. They're going to the people's houses.
Well, the rest of the people in that neighborhood need to stand up and be like, get your ass out of here. This ain't the place for this.
That ain't happening, bro. That ain't happening.
I don't know. That depends on where you live.
I think if I was with that Democrat gentleman and I heard that and him say that and the Secret Service didn't aim to him, I probably would have said something too.
Well, say something.
Why? We're disrespecting the Supreme Court. Well, what's a first lady, man? What's a first lady compared to the Supreme Court?
I don't think that she actually heard what he said.
Oh, yeah, she did. Yeah, because I'm here on this side of the monitor.
Is there video to support this?
Yes, dude.
Oh, well, someone's not doing their job. With that being said, we'll be right back in exactly 4 minutes. We're going to get to a little video with Trump plays in Saudi-backed tournament. And also we're going to hit a little bit of China and Sleepy Bunker President Joe conversation that lasted for 2 hours. And maybe we'll hit a little bit of Hunter Biden. And people that are watching, if you got something that you might want to have the guys talk about, then don't forget to hit that text button and send us a comment. And with that being said, the rabbit hole will be back in exactly 4 minutes. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Rabbit Hole with yours truly, Mr. Blazeman, Mr. D, and Mr. Donnie. So, part of first segment discussion was about if Dr. Jill Biden, the first lady of the United States of America, heard or didn't hear a voter say something like, hey, you know, your husband stinks as a president and he owes me gas money. I don't know if she heard it. I'm not sure if our colleague did the due diligence to get the video for us to look at it. But with that being said, so President Trump, as usual, is getting heat from anybody that will, break him down just for the fact that he decided that he's going to run again for president. Okay. And I watched a little bit of one of his rallies the other night, and one that Fox News did not cover. They did not cover it at all. I watched it on Newsmax because Fox News did not cover that. That's something to think about. But anyways, he had a great point. You know, he said to the effect that, look, he goes, if they thought that I was all done with all of this and that there was no chance in hell that I would run for president again or dabble in politics whatsoever, you would see none of this happening. And I want to get a quick take on Abodius. Is that true or false? D.
Yeah. It's true. If he was to go to Mar-a-Lago and close the front door, they would have never had this January 6th conspiracy trial or whatever the fuck it's called. And this is what they're trying to do. They're trying to make this his political obituary, you know. In other terms, his death.
Agree. Agree. In politics, it's like he never existed.
I can answer the little censorship coming from Fox News on doing his live coverages.
Well, that's what I was thinking as well, too. But let's have Donnie's opinion on that. Donnie, yes or no?
Yeah, we're fools if we thought he wasn't going to run again or he's not going to keep dabbling in politics. Yeah, we're a bunch of fools and idiots. We should have known that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's everybody that's against Trump that, I mean, I have things I didn't like about him. But
I think we all have.
Right, but it's our own fault. He's still relative because we kept talking about him. We kept talking about him. We kept pulling him in. It's our own damn fault. So hell yeah, if I'm Donald Trump, I'm going to ride that. Because now I just got to go stir up everybody that's mad about the January 6th thing and all this other stuff. And it might be like what Demas said, a red tsunami when I'm running. You know what I mean? And look, and then think all the stuff we can do with control of both houses and all. You know what I mean?
I agree. I agree. Let me ask another quick question, if I could. He says he's going to run. So, are you going to vote for him?
No.
Me?
Any one of you?
No.
You're not going to vote for him?
Nope.
No.
So, are we talking about we're not going to vote at all? Because I don't see one of you voting for a Democrat.
No.
Or re-voting for Joe Biden.
But before Trump gets to represent the Republican Party, I believe he's going to have to go through the primary process all over again. Where I think other qualified Republicans.
Nobody's going to run against him.
Oh yes, they are.
No.
Oh yes, they are. Oh yes.
No, the GOP is just going to support him.
You think
that's
so?
It. Yeah, that's
so?
it. Well, they've been saying it. They've been saying
I don't. I see Pence trying to make maybe a little run here too, just to piss Trump off.
I couldn't vote for Pence. I couldn't vote for Pence.
Could you vote for DeSantis?
Yeah, I mean, DeSantis also had some crazy shit put his foot in his mouth quite a few times too. You know what I mean? So, I
Well, when you're in the White House, you have a larger advisory staff than what you have in the governor.
right,
Um,
but then
I
again,
think this would be a hell of a ticket, man.
you know,
DeSantis and Tim Scott, the
you
black.
got to understand. You got to understand something too.
Uh,
Trump's used to just being the boss.
yeah,
He's
yeah.
just
We
being the
don't.
boss. He, you know,
I don't.
he's just used to being the boss. So if an advisor comes up to talk to him or whatever, and he disagrees with that advisor, he's going to go with his gut. But I think that he has learned a lot from his 4 years of, whatever you want to call that.
Yes.
I think he has learned a lot from there. And do you think that any other Democrat is going to do a better job than Joe Biden? Because Democrats are not going to run against him if he runs. It doesn't work that way.
Um.
It don't work that way unless you got one with some fucking real heavy balls. Excuse me, that are going to run against him. But usually that doesn't happen if a president's going to,
Yeah. No. I agree. I agree, Blaze. But I think he has to do a solid for the country and himself, man. And
Right.
I know he's not going to say it before the midterms, but after the tsunami, he needs to announce it so the Democrats can jar up the best what they have to go against what the Republicans.
Right.
Because I'll tell you what, I the next the next presidency.
That's
No,
all,
I'm
folks.
serious. I'm going to definitely look at the Democrat and see what they got to do.
Yeah, I couldn't in conscience do that. I was a Democrat for fucking most of my life until the past fucking 8 to 10 years I woke up. But anyways, here's a little piece of something else that they're going after our ex-president Trump about. So let's take a quick listen, and then we can discuss some more.
At his golf club at Bedminster, New Jersey, today former President Trump, along with other celebrities, teed off in the Pro-Am for this weekend's controversial tournament. The Saudi-funded Live Golf Invitational Series had already plucked some of the biggest names in golf from the PGA Tour. Now it's sparking new outrage.
This golf tournament is taking place 50 miles from Ground Zero.
It's disgusting.
Families of those killed on 9/11 are out with this new ad. They say the tournament is insulting since 15 of the 9/11 hijackers were from Saudi Arabia, and that government has a long history of human rights abuses. Terry Strata lost her husband Tom in the attacks.
The kingdom is throwing billions of dollars into a PR stunt. They are just want to whitewash away the history that they have with the 9/11 community.
Today, former President Trump said he's been friends with Saudi Arabia for a long time, and when asked about the families who are protesting the tournament,
nobody's gotten to the bottom of 9/11, unfortunately, and they should have.
when you heard that, what went through your head?
Well, he sounds like a fool.
The controversy comes after President Biden drew international outrage by traveling to Saudi Arabia, greeting with a fist bump the Saudi leader that U.S. intelligence says ordered the torture and killing of.
So how come the woman that just had that question, he sounds like a fool, she didn't think anything different about this right here? I mean,
Washington Post
just
journalist
curious.
Jamal Khashoggi. The Saudi government has long denied it was involved in either Khashoggi's murder or 9/11. Live Golf tells NBC News these families have our deepest sympathy. While some may not agree, we believe golf is a force for good around the world. The 9/11 families plan to protest here near the golf course tomorrow as this tournament officially tees off.
So there you have it with that there, boys. Anything to add?
Donnie, I'll give this first one to you.
So let me get this straight. We're going to be mad because we're having a golf tournament at a Trump place because Trump is still a businessman and he's still in the, business to make money. So let's get mad at him for being successful. So we're gonna get mad at him for that. But to answer someone's question about you're pissed off because the Saudi-backed finances, but you're okay with the oil that comes from Saudi that goes in your car that helps make the gas.
Yeah, but they don't know that kind of stuff, though. They
He's on fire. Leave him alone.
That's what I'm saying. I was going to look it up again right now about Saudi Arabian exports. Let's just see how much they export to us, and we're okay with everything they export to us, right?
Yes, sir.
Pretty much.
For many years.
I mean, plastic, fertilizers, aluminum, inorganic chemicals. I mean, some of this stuff that we use on a daily basis. The plastic soda that your Coke came in, I mean, it might have came from Saudi. We don't know. But now we're going to get mad because they back a golf tournament and a golf league because they're trying to create competition in an industry that's been on its own for a centuries. Oh, darn. Heaven forbid they try to make money too. That's how pathetic we are.
It's not only the 9/11 families that are complaining. I mean, the PGA golf tour, they're pretty pissed off about it too because money talks, bullshit walks. These golfers and these, really good golfers are going to that tournament because it's paying some CASH. You know what I'm saying? So
them golfers got every right. No, them golfers got every right because you're an independent contractor for the PGA, right?
Right.
Well, I'm an independent. My contract, my happy little ass over here and go make 10 million.
Right.
Because I'm not going to make that kind of money on the PGA tour because I'm not Tiger Woods and I'm not some of these big name guys with the marketing deal.
Right.
Business decision. Stop blaming it on golfers they made a business decision. Where the money comes from, don't go on that high horse because I will argue it all day, but you're okay with the electric cobalt that gets mined like Chris Baco always told us. Mariar told us, you're okay with that because the crap they make for the batteries for the EVs comes from Africa where child labor is okay. We're okay with our clothes to get sweatshops in China. Don't come to me with that.
Right. Yeah, because
don't try to ride your moral high horse and say it's wrong and blame a golfer. Because he went and made a business decision for their family?
Right.
You tell me you're going to get, like Charles Barkley right now. You come, Charles Barkley, with $200 million contract. $200 million goes a long ways for a lot of generations. And we always talk about generational wealth. What are we going to do for the future? Well, they made a decision. You're just mad because what? The PGA just mad because now there's actually competition they can't just swallow up and make, here you go. We'll make you a little stop on the, beginner circuit and you'll feel better about yourself. There's actual real competition with money behind it now.
D?
So Trump looks a little chunkier on that golf cart. Fat fuck.
It's all right. But, he's fatter and Joe Biden's as dumb as a rock. So go ahead.
I'm not going to disagree there.
But
Trump, and then again, there's these relationships. I worked for a defense company. I asked the gentleman, and he was real good in securing contracts for the office I worked. And I told him, I says, "Hey, Tom," that wasn't his name, just I says, "What's the success of you having with the contracts? Is it the quality you put in, the personnel you pick up?" And he's like, "My friend, the best thing I can tell you is you got to develop relationships." And what Biden did when he condemned Saudi Arabia for the Jamal Khashoggi, he just put a 6-foot fence with 3 strands of concertina wire between us and Saudi. I've been to Saudi. Their military is supported by a U.S.-based contractor. You want to have them doors open all the time. Yeah, the more Americans you got in there, the more little CIA agents get, released within the communities. You just don't believe the information we gather from insiders. Yes, Saudi's corrupt, but they're a lifeline to us. It's just like that heroin addict when he quits the shit. Where do you see him every morning? In front of what type of office, Blaze?
Methadone clinic.
Yes. And Saudi Arabia it still is the methadone clinic for oil in the world. Why are you going to piss off what you had? I bet you Trump could have made them pump more barrels of oil. And look, Saudi Arabia has
Well,
made
that's what it confuses me about. You say you won't vote for him, but
No, I won't.
but you
No,
know he would have got them to do that.
No, because a simple approached man would take that. A DeSantis would have done that. A Tim Scott out of South Carolina, and you didn't let me finish. I think that ticket right there, DeSantis and Tim Scott as the vice president. Hey, we got an Italian here and a brother. You know what I mean? Let's run that up the chain. I think we check all the blocks.
Yep. But this is Blaze. I won't vote for Trump again because the reality is, if you want 4 more years of this circus,
Yes.
then you'll vote for Trump. Because only thing that will happen is we'll have 4 years of them trying to investigate and say how he corrupt is and fabricating stories, and nothing will get done. So we'll have another 4 years. That's 12 years of just circus politics where nothing really gets done other than the further destruction of our economy and our livelihood. That's what you're going to get.
That's a good point. That's a good point, Donnie. And I was actually going to say something to that reference when I was going to, say something again. That is the only other drawback for me is the fact that if he does get in again, my decision's going to be hard this time around. I'm going to tell you that right now. But again, getting back to that is you're absolutely right. Nothing will get done. But let me just throw a little twist here. Maybe we can get some minds thinking and maybe changing. Now, if the GOP holds the seats and Trump runs, will you vote for him?
No.
Okay.
No, I won't vote for Trump. And if the ticket's Joe Biden and Trump again, I ain't voting. Because you know what? I'd rather say at least I didn't do nothing, so I can't complain. I'd rather just say I did nothing than to vote for them two jokers.
Well, we can always change our mind, right, fellas? Maybe, like I said, maybe he's learned a little something. And maybe when he comes back and he gets to the podium and he surprises the hell out of everybody. I don't know. Let's see. Well, listen, everybody's entitled to their opinion. And the three of us are on the fence about it. Well, used to say no 100%. I'm on the fence about this,
Blake,
so
stay positive.
Yes.
Good job, Blake. Good job. Stay positive, Blake. Good job. Good job. Stay positive thinking. Good job.
I'm trying to keep this a little family friendly, Donnie.
Rupert Murdoch of Fox News back in time, and this came out of Kushner's book. I'm thinking about purchasing it. A Life in the White House. They called Rupert, and they were all upset about Arizona going to Biden. So Jared called Rupert. Rupert called him back like 10 minutes later. And he said, no, that's how we're going to go. It's going to Biden. And they've even been warned, in which you don't hear it that much anymore at Fox News at all, is to drop the stop the election loss thing. And you don't hear Fox or any other right-wing group talking about the election was lost. I think that fire went out. I don't think Trump is going to get as much as support that he thinks that he's going to get from Fox, especially with his little bitch, Sean Hannity, because, oh, man, I've lost total respect for old Sean, man.
Really?
Oh yeah, he melts like a little girl, man, in front
All
of
right.
front of
We're just
Trump,
gonna
man.
we're gonna have to hold on to how much does he melt like a fucking fudgicle. And with that being said, the rabbit hole will be back in exactly 4 minutes, and we'll touch base on China and Biden's 2-hour phone call today, and we'll continue with this thing called Donald Trump. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back in exactly 4 minutes. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the rabbit hole with yours truly, Mr. Blazeman and Mr. D and Mr. Donnie. So to clear it up real quick, I'm on the fence because I believe in giving somebody a shot, and maybe hopefully he gets up there and he starts talking like a normal human being and learned lessons of dumb shit he did. To be honest with you guys, I don't see him doing that. So we're all, I don't know. We're just going to have to wait and see. But I do hope that we capture some seats in the House and in the Senate, and we can at least fight back a little bit with these wackadoodle Democrats and stuff like that. But with that being said, on to China and Biden's 2-hour phone call today with President Xi. And President Joe Biden and China's Xi Jinping held the 5th conversation of their presidencies on Thursday, speaking for more than 2 hours as they chart the future of their complicated relationship at times of simmering economics and geopolitical tensions. The call began at 8:30 a.m. and ended at 10:50 a.m. According to the White House, it took place as Biden aims to find new ways to work with the rising global power, as well as strategies to contain China's influence around the world. Differing perspectives on global health, economy, policies, and human rights have long tested the relationship, with China's refusal to condemn Russia's invasion of Ukraine adding to further strain. The two heads of states had in-depth communications and exchanged on China's U.S. relations and issues of mutual concern. China's Central Television reported on its website, the latest pressure point has been House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's potential visit to Taiwan, the island that governs itself democratically and receives informal defense support from the U.S., but which China considers part of its territory. Beijing has said it would view such a trip as a provocation, a threat U.S. officials are taking with heightened seriousness in light of Russia's corrosion into Ukraine. And China also said on the phone, as blunt as possible, that if she does go there, they're gonna play with fire that they just don't need or they don't want. So who's first?
They're going to play with fire. They've been playing with fire the whole time. And Pelosi's going to go, and then they're going to be like, woe is Taiwan, and we got to go help Taiwan. And then we're in a direct conflict with China. And then a political move could be made, and some would say they did it in a political way so they could get the economy rolling, because we all know that during active conflicts, the economy, we produce, right? Sending the troops over, we produce, we get jobs. We went to World War I. It was part of getting us out of the recession. I mean, I could see that play happening. And then for what? You're going to go get involved in a conflict that produces $60 billion a year in commerce around the globe? I mean, come on. Let's be realistic about this. Is it really that important that Pelosi goes to Taiwan? I mean, are you going to put American lives at risk with your little charade? Because that's what you're doing.
D?
Go, Demon.
So this whole thing, why is Joe Biden talking to him about human rights? Who gives a fuck what other people do in their countries? Seriously, why? No, I'm serious. And this goes back to, when we first initiated the show, going down the rabbit hole. One of our hosts that's on right now, Donnie, made mention, why does the United States always have to be the world police? And I second that with this. Yes, we all know about. Wait a minute. Why don't we just use one of our lifelines and use our phones And let's call President LeBron James. He knows all about human rights in China. Ask him if we should be involved with that.
No, but
All the folks from Nike up there in Oregon, wherever the fuck they're at, you
yeah,
know?
just yeah.
Well,
Again,
why
that's
care? Why? And the, and then we're talking to them about the economy. Come on, Joe. You made this economy for them. How can you? All you got to say is, "Hey, great economy," and talk to yourself and say, I'm gonna stop making shit here in my country. It would be, or have Mexico involved with it. You know?
please. Oh, jump on that one. I'll jump on that.
Yeah. You know what's crazy too is that China's military is getting very advanced. You know who paid for that? The American dollar, buying all them products from China, and that government slamming that import tax or whatever tax you want to slam on it. Oop, that goes to the country's piggy bank. Oop, let's buy another aircraft carrier. Let's build one. All right, we got it. And I keep making that Harbor Freight shit there in China and port it out through California. We've all been to Harbor Freight. I believe
I
the
never
port.
seen such the worst tools in my entire life.
Yeah, but you know something. If
The only
you're
good
gonna
thing
do it,
about Harbor Freight, though, real quick, sorry you brought it in the mix, is you can
yeah,
literally go there, buy something, and if you bust it, you bring it back, they give you your money back. So I can't
you
argue
know,
with that.
yes, sir. And what was some other things he was discussing? I attacked human rights and the economy because I wanted to make a
That's part of
facetious
me.
comment about LeBron James.
Oh,
You
oh,
know,
they're talking about different laws and job. What do they call it? Labor laws. Labor laws. That's what I'm looking at.
who cares? Who cares?
Exactly. Exactly.
Who
But
cares?
hey, let me ask
Yeah,
you this though. You know, we keep talking about all Hunter Biden in China and the case is going to roll up, right? But let's ask the question: is this normal for a first-term president to have 5 calls in the first 2 years with his counterpart from China? Because if it's
No,
not,
no,
then
no.
are we really having 2-hour conversations about those topics and those topics alone? Because I don't see you. I mean, come on now. Let's just be honest and realistic that this could happen. We can't prove it. We don't have audio, but it's realistic that those 2-hour conversations, an hour or so were talked about uh, U.S. China relations. You know, who owns what down in the China Sea, blah blah blah. That other hour could have been like, okay, so this thing with Hunter and Bohai Capital and, you know, these licenses. I mean, it could all be talking about the businesses. Because, like I said last week, if you put the timelines together, it's crazy the amount of ties that the Bidens have with people in China, Chinese corporations, state-owned companies in China. So
And
that
and
would be realistic to ask. It could have happened.
and Donnie, again, the Biden administration is releasing oil, and I know you gave us a class the other day on how oil is sold on the market, but it seems like it's getting released at the same time and being sold to a Chinese offshore company in China.
Yeah, I know. That's like I said last week. That's occasionally, it's
No,
just a
this is
coincidence.
Donnie. This is another drop of oil they've done.
Exactly, but they follow the rules. They follow the rules of OPEC, and it goes to my point last week of that's not coincidence when it happens the fourth, fifth, sixth time, the half a dozen times. Coincidence happens maybe twice in a
Yes.
span of what, maybe 2 years, a year, whatever, right?
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
doesn't, coincidence doesn't happen Monday the 8th, Tuesday the 17th of August, 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks down the road. That's not coincidence. There's influence at that point. And
Yeah.
if, I don't know how else you can prove that, but if I'm sitting in a jury and you tell me that, I'm pretty much believing you had influence and you just violated what a law that you're bound to uphold by your position as the president.
And you know something, Donnie, you made me think right now, and I'm thinking of presidency scandals. And Blaze, to your candidate, President Donald Trump. Um, I can't pinpoint the scandal on him yet, but there was Barack Obama. We, I mean, his scandal is he came in broke and he's making a lot of money now. Bill Clinton, we know the deal with Bill and Hillary with the Clinton Foundation. There's their scandal. George Bush, he had something to go. He had something to do with the Waco Branch Davidians stuff going on over there. There was a land dispute at there as well at the Waco stuff.
Right.
And
They all have their go.
no, and I think Joe Biden is going to be the most scandalous president that I've seen in my lifetime with his son.
No. Uh,
No, I'm serious.
that's
Scandalous.
hard to debate. That is, well, the scandalous is not hard to debate, Demas. That's not my debate. My debate is the most scandalous president ever. I don't know, because if you give Trump another 4 years, all the whatever dirt they're going to dig up on that dude, they're going to go talk about how he disrespected a teacher at the 7th grade Catholic school and he got swatted. I mean, it's just going to get that stupid.
No,
So,
no.
Come on, dude.
No.
These two right here, the last two we've had, they're the most scandalous. I think they're tied. I think
Who,
they're tied.
Trump and Biden?
Trump and Biden. I think they're tied. I'll give you that, because the same nepotism was happening,
Yes, sir.
under
Yes,
the
sir.
Trump administration, is the same nepotism that's happening now, and that's a big issue at the head spot of our political, the leader.
Hey, Donnie, this is an excerpt from Jared Kushner's book.
Okay.
The chief of staff, John Kelly, you remember him,
Okay.
retired 4-star Marine. Trump
Right,
made
right,
him
right.
chief of staff.
Right.
In Kushner's book, one of the excerpts is that Kelly pushed Ivanka out of the way. Yeah, and that's how crazy this presidency was, man.
Yeah.
I think his only advisors was Giuliani, Ivanka, and Jared. I think
Yeah.
that was it.
Yeah. Right. And that's why
Nah, Blaze.
you had the garbage we had
Yes.
when he was the
And
president.
Blaze, I'm sorry, I could not support him for another 4 years. I
No.
couldn't, man. He
No.
he is not going to calm down. He's going to call it as he sees it. He doesn't care if people like him. He's made one thing in life, and that was a lot of money.
You got shit done, guys. You can't deny that. You can't deny that.
No, you're right.
can't-
He did get shit done. That's why I tell you, some of his
but
policies,
Donnie,
some of that are good.
but Donnie, like you said, if he got shit done, you know what I mean. But everybody in the Democratic Party was fighting against him because and
Right.
I agree with you. I don't want fucking 8 years of this not getting shit
Oh.
done bullshit.
We've already had 8 years.
But
We're
I
gonna
don't
have
know.
8 years already. But
somebody
I'm
else
just-
is gonna convince me better than that, though.
Okay, they can convince you, but I want to go back to the thing with Biden and China. Let's just talk about Hunter. I was getting with the demons and the voices in my head and whatnot. We were talking about this, and it's funny how we keep talking about patterns of conduct and stuff, right? There's a pattern, and we talked about last week how is he just out there, goofing off because he's mad at Daddy Joe? You were trying to play that point, right, Blaze? Or was
Yes,
he? Is it like repeated activity? So this is what he's under. Now, remember, we said last week he's been under investigation on a congressional committee since 2018. And those charges are lobbying violations, tax violations of foreign lobbying, right?
Yes.
So Delaware is investigating him too for something for tax fraud, money laundering, and foreign influence peddling, right? Well, look at those charges at a state and a congressional level up here, state level, whatever, right? You got two different agencies investigating this guy for the same crimes, basically. He's in the same crimes, the same areas.
You know what they're going to do? They're only going to get him on tax.
Right.
No, and I'm being honest, and they're going to make it publicly known. And CNN's already pushing this agenda too. They're not going to talk about him foreign agent peddling and all that stuff. They're just going to blow it up a lot that it was tax evasion. Damn it, Hunter, you're going to get your PP slapped, and that's it.
Right. That's probably what's going to happen. But my point is, if you got two different organizations investigating you for the same crimes, that to me shows a pattern of conduct. It's not, once again, it's not coincidence that these two different organizations are looking at you for the same thing. That's not coincidence. That is a pattern of conduct. So he's not mad at Daddy Joe. And if you look at the timeline of when Hunter was, I got this off, what was it?
Your brain. That's where you
Newsweek.
got it from.
Yeah, Newsweek or New York Post, right? 2009, Hunter, he co-founds that Rosemont Seneca Partners with some other people, right? So these other two people, Hines and Archer, they're part of Kerry's crew. John Kerry, one's part of his staff. The other one was a part of when he was worked with him when he's under Obama. So that goes to your point earlier about how Kerry and some of these old timers are still hanging around giving Joe advice.
Yes.
They're still around, right? So 2010, Hunter visits China, meets up with the top official. His name is what was his name? Oh, I don't know. But
Wang?
No, it was Lee, I think. But he goes and he talks to these co-founders about investing, doing this Seneca stuff, but having money, investing in different property stuff outside the U.S., right? He's doing this. He's talking to all these key officials. 2012, Joe Biden, he's the vice president. Hunter Biden, Devin made contact with Chinese financier John Lee. He ran the private equity fund, Bohai Capital, right? They discuss all this partnership. 2013, it's over to China because the military's acting up. So Hunter gets on the phone. He arranges a greet and meet with Daddy Joe and this Lee guy, right? 2 weeks later, the business application they applied for to do all this suddenly gets approved. They had been waiting a year. Now all of a sudden, because Daddy got a handshake and they got on the video, like, this is the guy that's going to take care of us with the China stuff. And he's talking about Lee. And then, Biden's all like, the one video showed about take care of him, take care of the family. I trust you, right? Now you're going to talk about plausible deniability and other conversations when it comes to your son and knowing what's going on with the business dealings. Come on now.
No,
that's why I'm saying, if I can piece that together off one just little news article, what is the rest of the congressional investigation, the state what are they waiting for? What is the big mountain of evidence that you need to prosecute and convict this dude? It's clear he used Daddy's position to get an advantage in a foreign country.
Yep.
Vice
And
versa.
can I go now?
Go.
During Donald Trump's impeachment trial for his telephone communications, Pam Bondi is her name. She was an AG out of Florida. She moved up with DeSantis and his whatever she used to do. She under his office though. But anyways, they talked. That's what she talked about to the impeachment trial about Hunter's dealings, and it started off with Ukraine and then ended with China. Donnie, they used
Yeah.
this, throw the and it didn't stick. It didn't stick and that's all that phone call with Trump in Ukraine. Trump knew it already. He knew it already.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, and you have to understand, Biden's been in D.C. for what, almost 50 years?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I would say close to 50 years. So he
Yes.
knows the ins and outs of that. And if you're talking in a mastermind, ins and outs, bottom line, that's how do I steal shit from without nobody seeing it?
Exactly.
And that's what Biden's doing. He knows where to hide.
Exactly.
He knows this is 50 years of this shit, man.
Yeah, I'm not doubting he doesn't know where to hide, Demas. But once again, where is everybody that's going to jump up and talk about if that's not breaking some law? What are we doing? When is it okay for the corrupt guy to be in charge? I mean, because that's all I see now.
Yeah.
Why is that okay? Because what? He did one program for a certain ethnic group that they like it, or this ethnic group and this ethnic group. So all of a sudden they do that to get votes.
Yeah.
Everybody talks about immigration ain't a tool, that the immigration ain't used for policy making. Bullshit, it ain't. Why do you think the Democrats just want to lower the standards? Because then they go and they promise them a check, or they promise them a lifestyle. They make promises they don't even keep, and then they turn around and because they got them local seats, guess what? They got a few more seats at the higher level. That's a political chess game when it comes to immigration.
Yes,
So
sir.
Well,
they do
guys,
that.
I agree, Donnie. I agree. That was a good spot, bro. And with that being said, we're gonna take our last break of the night here on the Rabbit Hole, and when we come back, we're gonna discuss a little bit of the Ukraine war and the F-22 badass fucking Raptors that we're sending over to Poland. With that being said, we'll be back in exactly 4 minutes. Stick around for more of the Rabbit Hole. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Rabbit Hole, our last half hour of the show with yours truly, Blazeman, Mr. D, and Mr. Donnie. And with that being said, let's just get right to it, fellas. Right to it, baby.
What are we watching? Okay. Did they buy them? Did they sell them? Or what's going on? Did they buy them? Did they sell them? Or what's going on here?
Arrived at Royal Air Force Lake, United Kingdom, on July 26th en route to Poland, as the United States Air Force continues to bolster its presence of fifth-generation fighters in the region. The U.S. Air Forces in Europe confirmed the F-22 Raptor arrival, stating in a release that the fighters from the 90th Fighter Squadron of the 3rd Wing at Joint Base Elmendorf-Richardson, Alaska, will be traveling from Lakenheath to the 32nd Tactical Air Base in Lask, Poland, to support NATO's mission. New United States Air Forces in Europe Commander General James B. Hecker hinted at the appearance in Europe at the Royal International Air Tattoo July 17th in an interview with Air Force magazine. We're bringing over F-22 Raptor that are going to be coming over shortly, within a month, and they'll spend 4 or 5 months over here, Hecker said. So we're going to constantly cycle in fifth generation into what will eventually be 2 permanent F-35 squadrons at Lakenheath. So we'll be cycling it in here in the meantime. According to local media reports, F-22 arrived at Lakenheath. When they arrive in Poland, they'll be tasked with supporting a new mission for NATO. Air shielding is intended to protect NATO nations from air and missile threats by leveraging ground-based air defense assets. Air Shield will provide a near-seamless shield from the Baltic to Black Seas, ensuring NATO allies are better able to safeguard and protect alliance territory, populations and forces from air and missile threat, United States Air Forces in Europe press release states, adding that the F-22 success as an air dominance platform makes it a highly strategic platform to support NATO air shielding. Just the latest deployment of United States Air Forces fighters to Eastern Europe, in an effort to reassure allies on the eastern flank in the face of Russia's invasion of Ukraine and continued aggression. Earlier in July, F-35 from the Vermont Air National Guard forward deployed to Amari Air Base, Estonia, to support the air shielding mission. Prior to that, the Air Force has moved F-15, other F-5, and still more aircraft into Eastern Europe, participating in NATO Baltic air policing and enhanced air policing missions. The constant rotation of new aircraft into the region is part of the Air Force's plan to remain vigilant as the Russia-Ukraine war drags on. Hecker told Air Force magazine, "What we're going to do is just kind of have 6, 12 kind of airplanes that will come in here for 4 months, and we'll do that for about a year or so, in addition with all the permanent aircraft that we have stationed here. And that will increase our presence, and then we'll have to readjust and see what this thing looks from now, and then we can adjust as necessary," Hecker said.
Oh, there you have it there. So, do you think it's, we're finally sending aircraft there, right? That was the big thing before.
Yep, I got this one, Dottie.
No, go, because I know what happened.
That damn General Hecker, James B. from South Dakota, he gonna put a lot of whoop ass on them boys.
Go, Donnie.
Stupid. Remember, like before we took the break, when you had the neck surgery, we talked one time about the war in Ukraine, and I said something about Biden just sitting back, waiting. Let me keep feeding the forest, feeding the fire. Let me sit back and wait. And we kept talking about how we wanted to, indirectly or directly get into the fight. This is, I think, where we directly get into the fight because we're supporting NATO missions with troops and with aircraft to patrol them skies. You don't think for a minute they go into Russian airspace, Putin ain't gonna fire at them? Because he's gonna say it's an act of war. And there you go. We are directly involved. What happens when we get directly involved? Everything good for a voting cycle comes to play, man.
So what happens? What happens?
No, and Donnie, I gotta just add onto that. And I was just joking with General Hecker, but look how they were quoting him a year ago. We're only gonna have a couple, and then we'll increase or adjust. They seen this already in the horizon, the military.
Yes, they seen it in the horizon, and it just got reinforced when Putin he threatened Finland and Sweden for joining with military action. If they join NATO, guess what happened? They put applications in, right? Or they're talking about joining now because they're worried about the threat. This is where we get directly involved, but
what does this say to Putin?
I just hope that we got a lot of money and stuff. This says to Putin that we're building for whatever war you want to break out in. So it's basically Putin, we're coming at you, man. If I'm Putin, I'm looking at this and I'm saying, okay, they're coming at me now. All right, let's get going.
We're positioning, right?
Yeah, yes, we're positioning. We're about to hit you up. And I also talked about that long time ago about Biden sitting back and getting that one Russian crony. Let's groom him up real quick. That's a little more responsive about doing business with the West, and let's get rid of the whole, animosity vibe and all that other crap. Let's work together more. You don't think that that's still not maybe going on?
Yeah. Hey,
I agree.
And Blaze, their mission is air shield. So I would really hate to see Russia trying to explain why an F-22 deployed its defense measures for a missile aimed right at it. And they're flying in Ukraine territory.
Yep.
So now, here's a scenario. So now Russia shoots a surface-to-air missile. I'm sorry, not a surface-to-air missile, but a rocket towards Ukraine to, destroy some more buildings or whatever. And the F-22 Raptor, fires a missile to intercept or whatever the situation may be, and that missile accidentally kills a couple of Russian troops. What are we looking at?
I don't think you'd see that scenario play out, though, Blaze.
But you're looking at war if it did play out. If that played out, guess what? We're looking at war. Because Putin would say, you attack me. That's an act of war. My troops died. You attack me.
Even though they're there with the defense shield, something fucking retarded can happen to where that's going to trigger. It's going to trigger something, guys.
That's why I just said this right here is how we're going to get directly involved as a nation into this war. Them posting them F-22 Raptors for their air policing and their air shields, that's how we're going to end up getting directly involved, because an American life will get hurt, or they'll fire at us, or something stupid like you just said will happen, and somebody will construe it as an act of war, and then there the Democrats go, and we got no option because they control both houses. They can say, we're going to war. There you go.
And you know something? It makes me think even more now, just reviewing that tape. That tape was pretty decent that you showed the viewers and ourselves here. Them planes were strategically placed before all this shit happened in Alaska. And now they moved a wing to Poland. It makes you think now, they went from just, okay, we don't think Russia's going to invade, now let's go defend here more? Donnie?
I'm not sure, but they were strategically placed. We mentioned that in Alaska, yes, because of the threat in the Arctic and what Russia's been doing up in that Arctic Circle area on their territory of building bases. Let's not forget that they're over there building their military up to get a little closer. And they still think Alaska is part of their territory. They still want it. So you know, they were strategically placed there. You said there was one wing, right? So you got one wing.
Yes.
If I'm Russia, I got one wing of F-22 Raptors, which I don't know how many that is. I don't know. Right?
I think
But-
it's 4.
Okay.
No, they
so
sent
And I
six.
thi-
They sent
it's
six.
six?
and I think
Okay,
there's
so-
3 wings to a squadron.
Right. So what was that? Ellendorf and all that, and J Bear.
That was
it
Alaska.
What? Right. They're gonna put how many of them F-222s up there? 2 wings, right?
Yes.
Wasn't
Six.
it two
Yeah,
wings?
and they got the F-35s
Right, so-
coming in as well.
Right. So if I'm Russia and I'm sitting there and Putin, to my right, I got a wing of F-22s and F-35s. To my left, I got the same amount of firepower. Now I'm forcing you to fight on 2 fronts. Right? Now that's what you're thinking. So you keep playing this stuff out with this. When we keep talking about why do we have to be in this earlier, this is what, when we're the world police, this is what happens to us. We get involved in some shit we probably shouldn't be involved in because we want to play police, and then an American soldier, an American citizen got hurt or lost their life, and now we're directly involved.
Donnie, and
Come on now.
stop, please. No, and hold that thought, please, because I want to interject something real quick. Do you think Joe Biden has a little guilt of his dealings in Ukraine? Because in 2014, that was named the most corrupt country in the world, Ukraine.
Yes.
Yes.
You know, and Joe Biden threatened to stop a $1 billion loan guaranteed to the government to get Viktor Shokin, the prosecutor that was looking after Burisma,
Fired.
that Hunter Biden was part of.
Yes.
And they fired that. You know, it's there's plenty of video of it. So it makes me think it's like, oh, is his heart still into Ukraine? So like, let me help them even more because they helped me and my son with cash, you know, with dealings.
Right. So okay.
I could give a shit left.
Because a referee, when he refs a game, he's got to go neutral into that. And that's what Biden is. He's supposed to be, you know, the thinking mind for the people. Should we go help them or possibly go to war with a clear mind? No distractions, no connections, you know, and Biden loses it. Because he had them connections there in Ukraine. He got the prosecuting attorney fired within 6 hours, man. 6 hours.
Yeah.
And they told him, he says, "You're not President Obama." He says, "Okay, you're right." They hung up. Fucking. Then they say, "Hey," they tell Biden during a preference, "Hey, he just got fired." Yeah, I told him. And I'm like, wow, you piece of shit.
No,
using the vice presidency to make that.
That's the
So are
same
you
thing
saying
I've done.
that? So are you saying that Sleepy Bunker is going to feel fucking guilty about this by sending military aid over there?
No, I feel that he's obligated. If
Well-
he has a soul of any type, I feel he's obligated to these people.
Could
with
be.
his business,
Could be.
with his business dealings that he's had.
Could be. I think he's too fucking stupid to even understand what's going on, but could be.
I don't think he's stupid. I don't think he just can't. He can't perform well, man.
Because he's a fucking 106 years old. I said that earlier in the show.
Yeah.
He's too old to hold office.
No.
With that being said, go ahead, Donnie.
No, some of what Joe Biden does is very calculated. He knows we play stupid. We did it earlier, and there was audio. We had it where he was talking in the interview, and they started talking about Hunter and all these dealings in Burisma, which Burisma was maybe had ties to being owned by a Chinese company. They were like, okay, and he's like, I don't know, but you know, it's all rumors. Hearsay. He's like, possible deniability, and he chuckled afterwards. He chuckles. That right there, that chuckle, you knew, but you're playing the game to keep your name out of it. That's what you've been doing.
Of course.
Hell yes. Hell yes. Is he going to advocate for more help for Ukraine because there's more dirt out there to come up, or because of what he had in the past? Hell yes, he is.
Well, I don't know. I mean, look, if it was something that was going to come out about me and my crackhead son, and that we could do some jail time and kind of encourage Russia to fucking level the place, and I mean, no proof or anything like
Blaze,
that. So,
Blaze, that these type of folks in this country, in this world, the elites, they're in this black society, man.
So
They're
the NWO.
well
Yeah.
protected, man.
Yeah,
Well
yeah, well,
protected.
And NWO.
And look,
Yeah.
and look who else belongs into it. And I don't want to make mention of her name. I want to live.
You keep talking
Oh,
shit about
She
your
was
girl, Hillary.
her husband was the first brother in president.
Yeah. So,
You
guys,
know who-
do you think?
Obama?
Do you
Okay, whatever.
think?
No, it wasn't Obama. It was Bill Clinton, man.
Jesus Christ, D.
Bill.
So,
He was the
guys, do
first
you
brother
think?
in the army.
So,
Right,
do you
go.
guys think that it's a good idea for China's military is sending a delegation of troops and military vehicles to participate in a series of military competitions in Russia next month? So, do you think it's a good idea for China to be doing anything over there because war games?
Yeah,
No,
you
they
know
gotta
something.
train.
Yeah, you know why they're gonna go. Yeah, you know why they're gonna go at Russia? Because Russia is gonna try to practice with them with American maneuvers. That's exactly why they want to train the Russia to feel what the United States is going to do to them. Donnie, you agree or disagree?
I could agree with that. I can agree with that.
Yep.
And the other flip side of the coin, with whatever other country, China or Russia, the other one using U.S. maneuvers, it helps me to figure out, hey, maybe if I want to go attack you, I can attack you. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
Right.
Do I like it? No, but can you stop it? I mean, armies have to train. You got to
Yep.
train in order to fight. You know, in whether it's in the boxing, the ring, military, whatever, you got to train, and you got to have live action. You can't train. A boxer can't shadow box all the time. There's gonna be live action. You got to have decision making skills. You got to be able to react. You got to be able to know your surroundings. You got to practice all that, and you can't practice that in a range and in simulation only so much. You got to have that live interactive contact. And I mean,
Boots on the ground.
you go over there and you ask them, they're probably thinking the same thing about us in Europe training together all the time. They're probably like,
Hey,
just
Blaze.
cleaning up how to try to beat us or whatever.
Hey, Blaze, I just want to make one more comment on this Ukraine with the F-22s and stuff being there, and with supposedly here soon, the F-35s are going to come and join them. If anything of what we're seeing on the ground with the vehicles is a reflection of what they have in the air, they will get destroyed within the first 30 minutes.
Nothing touches
Destroyed.
the F-22 and the F-35.
No, and what's crazy, it's the fifth generation, and when you got generations,
Right.
you know that could be a more advanced camera on the front. That's another generation,
Hey,
you know.
the F-16E is no fucking slouch either. You know what I'm
No.
saying?
And me right here, I ain't no slouch either, Blaze.
You know, the F-16E is no slouch. But although maybe on another show down the road in the future, if we're talking about something like this, I'll put it up. But there's a video of the F-22 going up against 5 F-16Es, and it was no match for that plane. There was no match for that plane. They didn't even know they were dead before they were dead.
Have you seen the new Top Gun? Or the
No, I
sequel?
have not.
No, and I want to. Donnie, have you seen it?
No, I haven't
Not
seen
a top. Do you plan on seeing it, Donnie?
Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna go to the theater. I'll just wait to get it on the stream or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that is so cool these days. Now it's cheaper to just rent them at the house.
Yeah.
You know, less admission fee. You know.
Well,
You know-
the movie theater down here is like $9.50.
Yeah.
for an adult.
Yeah,
So,
but you
and
know
they
what?
usually put it up to rent for like $20. So what's the difference? But I get to lay in my bed and chill, you know?
Yeah, no, and you know us breakfast tacos, we could pack them in tight in a box.
Right. You can pack them in tight around here.
I don't understand for the life of me how you like those. Those are the fucking nastiest things I ever tried.
Oh, because you just tasted it up there.
You know? I mean,
whatever,
what's
man.
the difference between up here and up there?
Oh, up there, a white person cooks them. Down here, a Mexican cooks them, and they taste a lot better.
Yeah.
Right, Donnie? Ronnie?
Yeah,
I don't know. Can you actually taste it after you put the fucking hot sauce all over it? D?
No, man.
Of course you can.
Oh.
Of course you can. Of course you
Yeah.
can. Man, come on.
I don't know.
You can't be tacos.
But
man.
fuck all of that. Fuck all of that. Listen. So,
Whatever.
I mean, it's scary though. Wouldn't you? I'm not gonna. Scary is a little strong word, but it's concerning. Now we're sending fucking. We're not just sending some fucking F-15s or F-16s there. We're sending the F-22 Raptor and the F-35.
Yeah.
Okay.
Blaze, I'm telling you, let's get ready for war. I don't
You
see
think
any
so,
other
huh?
outcome coming from this. Yes, because Russia's going to take that as something aggressive. And
Right.
They're going to get the warmongering going. They're going to, all the jargon, everything, they're going to say that we're acting aggressively and they're going to try to put it against us. And it's just somebody's going to make that mistake.
Yeah.
It's an act of war. And it's on after that. And then I just really don't know what's the plan. Because I hope, and that's what aggravates me about this administration a little bit. You think we're stupid. We don't know what's going on. At least you make me feel that way. You think I can't see the news and see what's going on and think, a little bit tactfully about how you're trying to put yourself? Come on. You just be a little more, give us better information, better facts, and stop trying to hide it like it's a big secret. I'm sorry. You can't hide in F-22. You can say it's stealth all day, but when that joker parks and that engine ain't going, you ain't hiding that big machine. You just can't do it. So,
hey,
come on.
I saw something in the news channel. I mean Twitter. Sorry. You're talking about hiding. Taiwan. Their bunkers for their planes are built on the ground, dude.
Yes.
For that simple fact you made, Donnie. You can't see them when they're on the ground. Yep. I mean, you're probably going to have heat displacement and all that
So
stuff.
what
but
happens?
No.
What happens? What happens if Pelosi does go there? And I mean, they don't fire on her or anything, but an actual Chinese, aircraft gets on the side of her aircraft, and they say something like, "Look, this is a no-fly zone, and you need to get the fuck out of here real quick," or whatever the situation may be. Does she get maybe an F-16 escort because of this threat that's going on right now? What do you think?
I think so, and I think it's more than just one. And also, it makes for a good book from Tom Clancy, man.
Yeah.
Tom
it don't
Clancy's
matter
good
what-
for that. This is from
Wow.
This is from one of our listeners.
Easy Bray, C, and David.
Ezra.
They're saying
So-
Taiwan is going to send their fighter jets to escort her. Wow, that's cool. That's cool.
Okay.
But you know something? Wouldn't you think the president should do that? Or is he too valuable to the actual function of the United States?
Apparently, to the Democrats, he apparently is, because they just they're all behind him. I mean, I don't know. That's what we voted in office, so apparently that's what we want.
And that's Trump. Trump would have flew to Taiwan, and I know I'm giving him a point, Blaze, because Trump flew to the DMZ south, and he stepped into North Korea. I believe he's the only living president to do that. or
no,
president.
one other president did. I forget his name, but we can touch base on that next week. But one other president did. But
Blaze,
that's what I'm saying. I mean, but that's what I mean. I
was
mean,
on a
the
little
shit
fire.
the shit. Go ahead.
Nah, man.
No, don't say nah, man. Just go.
No, this is the Trump runs again. CNN and MSNBC are struggling. They would love
for Trump to
hear
run
that
again.
Trump.
Yeah, their ratings are fucking
would
dirt.
go again. I think Don Como, whatever that. No, that's Don Lemon. What's the other fag in there? Como, the brother. No, but what's his first name?
Oh, I don't know. I forget.
No, and I think he would be offered his CNN job back again.
No. They're done with him. They're done with him. He is I watched him on an interview about a few days back. He's just sitting on his fucking hands. He doesn't know what to do. Nobody wants to touch him right now.
Yeah, he's got a little side gig. It's news action or news something.
Yeah,
it's like OAN and America's News Network. Yeah. But no, Donnie, you're a good dude, bro.
No, but I'm telling y'all, I think we're going to be at war with either Ukraine or, with that whole Ukraine thing, or it might be a China-Taiwan thing. Either way, direct conflict is coming. I just feel it.
So a listener says that she is the highest official to go there since 1980.
Yes. I bet Kissinger went over there. He was a ballsy son of a gun.
Yeah.
You could talk about Henry, and Henry was the man. He worked for every damn president. Didn't matter if they were Democrat or Republican.
Right, but what Ezra's saying is right. She's going to be one of the highest ones since the 80s because that relationship has been it's been non-existent, and it's just a business deal. Really, there was no political influence there. We would help them with, and we'd tell them, and train with them, but that's really all it was just a business. Now it's starting to be something political.
Yeah.
She was going to
do
with
that. Go ahead.
No, yes. Business. This wasn't official duties.
No, I'm saying when Pelosi goes, now Taiwan, there's political reason for us to be involved and be there. That's what I'm saying. That's why we're involved now, because for the longest time since the 80s, it was mainly a business relationship, meaning we sold them, military equipment and stuff like that. They sold us goods, and it just went smoothly like that. There was no need to be, because there was no political strategy for us to be in Taiwan. Now there is, with the little closer relation to China and being in a part of that world. And it goes back to the question of, why do we need to be the world police? Why do we need to be having our little noses everywhere?
Yep.
That's kind of it.
Because we promise everybody that.
Hey, and don't forget, the UK owned Taiwan for a long time.
Right.
So the UK should be the one stepping it up with China.
Yeah, the UK. The UK does what we tell them to do.
I agree totally, Blaze. I agree totally.
Of course they do.
And on that note, you're not full of shit, okay? You're talking straight stuff, Don.
All right, guys. With that being said, I'd like to thank everybody who tuned in tonight's show. It's bumped up a little bit as we're ending. But if you liked what you heard in the last 10 minutes or so, don't forget to join us every Thursday night from 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't forget to go to www.childhelp.org and, read their website, give what you can, $5, $10, whatever, helping some kids out with some food, some school, and all of those things like that. Also go to www.ffnradiointernational.com. Go check out our website. If you missed any of our broadcast, you can go to the website and you can check out all of our broadcasts that are up there: the Blaze Man and Miss Tammy show, the Blaze Man Morning Show, the Rabbit Hole, and we got a new show coming to FFN Radio Network, FFN Network, and Blaze Man Media, and it's called Good Times in Fall River with Jerry. So don't forget to check out the dates and the times with all of that stuff like that, ladies and gentlemen. And I think that we might need to call 911 for Donnie. How you doing, pal? You doing all right?
No, I'm good. That just went down the wrong pipe.
wrong pipe. Yep, you got it. All right. So with that being said, again, thank you everybody for tuning in to the Rabbit Hole tonight. Don't forget to check us out next Thursday from 7 to 9 p.m. The Blaze Man and Miss Tammy show on Tuesday nights from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we will be coming up with a date on a new show coming to the FFN network. With that being said, D?
I'm good, sir. Thank you. Thank you to everybody. It was fun again, man. And you're never too old to learn something.
Never.
Want to reach that out. Reach out.
I think we all learn something every night when we do this show.
Yes.
So.
And remember, stay away from pills. One pill can kill.
We still got to put that story. Just stick with us, ladies and gentlemen. Like and share us. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Check us out on Facebook. FFN Radio Network on Facebook. FFN Radio Network on YouTube. FFN Radio International on Twitter. We are also on Telegram. We're on. We're everywhere. Well, we're everywhere. With that being said, Donnie, your final thoughts.
Just thanks everybody for tuning in, listening, watching. Just stay positive, think positive, optimistic or whatever, opportunistic.
Optimistic, yeah.
Optimistic. Yeah. There you go. Thank you. And just let's hope and pray we get somebody sensible to run for these offices here shortly, because it's getting bad. Talk to y'all next week.
All right, we'll see you all next week. And Ezra, Sean, David will hopefully have you back real soon, and everyone else that participated in tonight's questions and all that stuff like that. With that being said, peace and love to everybody out there. Good night, and we'll catch you next Thursday right here on